And you mentioned about how there are gaps in people's knowledge base which allow for these conspiracy theories to flourish. Have you noticed some common patterns in that in terms of what gaps exist that allows that to happen?
Yeah, honestly, it varies tremendously. And so you can identify misinformation of so many different tiers. Like there's some that is very clever. Like right now, I'm going against some of these creationists for the Discovery Institute, and they employ people with actual doctorates. There are a handful of scientists, not very many, but admittedly some, that have doctorates and use their knowledge base to craft propaganda that is very clever. It seems as though they are it seems as though they are offering an alternative perspective on fields like evolutionary biology, where in fact they're just lying, or they're just you know, obfuscating basic facts about molecular biology and things like that. And so, but the problem is that your average person, and especially your average Christian, does not have the knowledge base to be able to identify that. It takes somebody with at least a modest understanding of these fields through formal training to be able to spot this stuff. And so I like to take what I know about biochemistry and related fields, and take that kind of stuff and dissect it, and all, show relevant research and explain relevant research that debunks this stuff. So that part is very delicate. This is the reason that there are not tons and tons of science communicators that are debunking this stuff, because it's somewhat sophisticated knowledge. But then you can keep going down the line, and all the way at the bottom of the barrel is flat Earth, and flat Earth is just a complete disavowal of the entire body of science. It's for people who don't understand middle school level physics, and these are people who say that gravity doesn't exist and can't grasp why that doesn't make any sense to say that. And then there's every tier in between. So right now with COVID and we've been seeing a denial of, like, the germ theory of disease. There's people out there who promote the idea that viruses are not real, and you'd be shocked at the number of people who adopt and espouse this view. There's this guy Andrew Kaufman, and he says viruses are not real; they're actually exosomes. They're little things that come out of our somatic cells, and they have human DNA. It's like, no, 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 they don't. What are you talking about? Virology is an entire field where we isolate viruses, and we decode the genome, and we do all these things. And it's just an entire category of people who just go, nope, that's not real. All of these millions of people, that's not a thing. And so that's a level of science denial that I find alarming and really, really concerning. And it's concerning for future pandemics. It's concerning for climate, as we discussed by email, and other areas where, if we don't figure this out, if we don't, like, we need an army of science communicators such as myself to figure out this problem, because I believe that the public not being able to grasp reality and what's going on is the premier problem facing human civilization, because there are institutions out there that will capitalize on this ignorance, create propaganda, skew public perception towards some line of mistruth that will benefit them financially, and it's going to ruin everything in the eventual limit of possibly descending into some theocratic or autocratic society, possibly in America. We're already seeing this backslide happening right now. So it's very concerning for me, and I take my work very seriously in that regard.